What's going on, everyone? So something is up with Tillie, right? She seems very strange in the From universe, right? Now, obviously, she was one of the people that showed up on the bus in season 2. And from the beginning, she really seemed very unbothered, right? Like, all the craziness, all the commotion, all the chaos is going on. And they're trying to get everyone to understand and realize, like, hey, this isn't this place. Like, you have to go here. And she was just kind of like, yep, sounds cool. Sounds good. Like, just seemed very unbothered. Like, I'm here. Now, you could argue, she's old. She lived her life. She's probably seen some craziness in her life. Everyone kind of copes and deals with just craziness and trauma and stuff like that in their own way, in different ways and whatnot, right? Like, there's a lot of justifications that you can kind of come to as to why Tillie is the way she is, right? She also is that kind of creepy Tillie, right? Kind of dark, kind of, seems to have an answer for a lot of things, right? But there's got to be something with her, right? Like, she's clearly been significant, but not so significant that it's obvious, right? If that makes sense. Like, they make it known and apparent that, like, hey, she's here, right? Like, like the bus driver, Bacta, I think is her name, top of my head. You've seen her, you saw her in the last episode, but for the most part, you almost never see her, or even several of the other characters, right? Like, some of the other, like, Colony House characters and stuff, you'll see, but they're kind of just, like, in passing, or they're kind of just, like, a brief moment or scene where, like, Tillie's had some significant moments and some impactful moments, and, and has been tied to several of the characters in Fromville, right? Obviously, Elgin, and now you're seeing her really kind of be involved with Fatima. And she kind of comforts Fatima by telling her, like, hey, I used to lick eggshells and stuff, because she catches Fatima eating the rotten food. But you look at Tillie, and it's just kind of like, now, look, I'm not saying that she's, like, the mole or anything like that, right? Like, that she's this thing. But I wonder if she's, like, could they twist it to where maybe she was there before? Right? Like, what if she was somebody that was there and escaped? What if she was there and somebody that got out? Right? Because she just, again, she seems very comfortable there. She seems like she's like I've been here before. Right? So, like, what if Tillie was somebody that had been here in Fromville when she was younger, or at a different time, and she was able to get out and escape? Because, look, Tabitha got out. Now, we know that all of the chosen ones have failed, but also Tabitha didn't complete the mission. She got out on a technicality, right? Like, so who's to say that's the only other way to get out? Right? Like, when Tabitha goes, through the tower, you see all the dates and stuff like that, like, which signals that those are the dates in which people have, gone to the tower, maybe failed at the tower, right? But again, what if there are other ways out? What if there are other ways to get there? And you might ask, like, okay, well, if Tillie knew how to get out, why wouldn't she help them all get out, right? Well, maybe she isn't back there on her own free will, and she doesn't want to tell people because she's old, and she just doesn't want to deal with the chaos. Also, depending on when she was there, chances are the place is entirely different, right? Like, if she was there back when she was in her 20s or 30s or something, then that place would be entirely different, or, like, maybe she is a mole, right? Maybe she is part of that. Maybe she did come back on her own free will, right? Maybe part of the deal of her getting out is, like, hey, you can't interfere. You can't get involved. You have to stay out of it, right? okay, sera. What'll be will be, right? Like that, you could see something where Tillie has some type of involvement or has some type of connection in this whole thing. Again, it's very possible she's just a kooky old lady. Right? If we're being honest, like, it's very possible that she's just a character. She's a little eccentric, little creepy, little weird, little out there. Sure. Right? It's always a real possibility. But there's also the possibility that there's something going on with her. And that there's some fishiness going on. Kind of the tie-in and connection, right? Again, her with Elgin. You know, she always seems to know what to say and how to connect to people. Right? She knows how to connect to Elgin. She knows how to connect to Fatima. Now look, again, she's older. She has a lot of life experience. You know, she grew up in the 60s, 70s and stuff. Like, you know, she's probably seen some stuff in her life. Right? Like, she's probably seen some stuff. So, of course, you could easily justify it as like, you know, hey, look, of course she's going to be able to connect and relate to people. And that doesn't mean that all her relations are real or, you know, she's just doing it to kind of help people cope and all that. Like, yeah, I get all that. But it's just, I don't know. There's key characters that are obviously front and center. You know, you look at like Boyd and Tabitha and Jim and Kenny and characters like that. Then you have kind of like the supporting characters, you know, like Sarah and Christy and even Fatima, even though she's kind of stepping in more. Jade, you could argue that, even though he's kind of stepped in more. Ellis, right? Like, you have these kind of other characters. Then you have kind of, in my opinion, kind of the orbited characters, right? Victor, obviously, is a main character. And in a lot of ways also a supporting character. But he's kind of the one that everything kind of orbits and shifts around. Right? Like, he's the one that there's clearly stuff going on with him. Right? Like, he's kind of at the center of everything. And it just feels like there's going to be a lot for him to unpack that you're going to need to deal with. And then, you know, you kind of got those, like, they're trying to make them... They're trying to make sure you still know who they are. Right? Again, like Randall. They want to make sure you still know who they are. And then Tillie, Elgin, right? Marielle, right? Like, you can argue a little bit, but I feel like she's just been kind of in little spots. Now, where Tillie's had some, especially recently, some real significant scenes and impactful scenes and potentially, based on with the tarot cards and all that stuff, monumental type scenes. They might have discovered something there. Clearly, Fromville did not want her using those cards. Gave you the little warning, you know. First, you know, the bird didn't just like crash right in. She goes, flips over that first card, and it hits the window of like hey, stop doing what you're doing. See what you're doing right now? Knock that off. Cut it out. All right? Sew that up. Put it away. And they tried to ignore it. No. Just keep going. Ask away. Ask questions. Okay, fine. You don't want to listen? Boom, right? And it's just total chaos. Right? So they might have, like, there may be some monumental setup there. But it really does feel like they're trying to get somewhere with her. Like, there's something going on with her. Again, we don't know quite what it is. And look, maybe it is as simple as she's just the creepy old lady. Maybe it is as simple as she lived a long life and, you know, so she's not really shocked or surprised by anything. I mean, even the tarot cards, according to her, said that she would end up in this place. You know, she said not in so many words, but, you know, basically gave me signs that, like, something like this was going to happen, right? Maybe she's just prepared, right? Maybe she's just like, hey, knows what it is. Maybe there's more to the story. Right? Maybe there's something going on. I think having her be somebody that had been there before makes a lot of sense. Because it kind of feels like that's inevitable. Like, at some point, you're going to get somebody that has been there and left. I mean, obviously, you could argue Tabitha, but I'm talking about, like, somebody from the past. Are you telling me no one else has ever gotten out of that place but Tabitha? I don't really buy that. You know, I would imagine, like, that place has been around since at least the 1500s, as far as we know. So you're talking about bare minimum, you know, 500, 600, 700 years. Like who knows how long it's been? It could have been around thousands of years. It could have been around since the beginning of time. Like, and you're telling me after all this time, no one has ever gotten out except for Tabitha by even just like a random accident or technicality or anything, right? Like, I think it's very possible that many people have gotten out. And maybe Tillie is one of those people that have gotten out and came back. I think that could be something very interesting. I really do. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel with your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you think, like, yeah, like something is clearly up with Tillie? There's some tie-in. There's some type of connection. You know, she's too calm. That's what really kind of gets me. Like, she really, like, she's so unbothered. And from the beginning, she's just so unbothered from the beginning. Like, all these random people are just telling her, you know, like, hey, this is great. And she's just like, all right, yeah, cool. Like, just so nonchalant about the whole thing. Everyone else is freaking out. Everyone else is losing their minds. You know, and I'm not saying, like, you know, like, not saying that she had to, like, panic or be in attack mode, but, like, she didn't even, like, really question anything. None of it. She was just like, oh, yeah, okay. Almost like she knew the deal. Like, yeah, I've been here. I've done this. I've gone through this. I'm aware. Right? Do you feel that same way? Do you not? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.